Hello everyone, I'm Dan Philgreen, and this is Shell Point Today for the weekend of June 12th, 13th, and 14th. On today's show, Terry Colath will visit with Gerald Langberg of Sundial to talk about his Florida bird safari adventure that you can enjoy without ever having to leave Shell Point. Plus, we'll recap the top stories from all of this week. Saturday is the first night of the summer concert series here at Shell Point. The award-winning Crossroads Quartet takes the stage at the Village Church for some delightful a cappella arrangements and harmonies in the barbershop quartet style, as well as vocal jazz, blues, gospel, pop classics, and standards. The concert starts at 7:30 p.m., and tickets are $20 each. Or you can purchase the entire four-concert series for $60 by visiting either service desk or calling 454-2067. Also on Saturday is the movie showing of Gifted Hands, the Ben Carson story. The film is about a renowned brain surgeon who overcame obstacles to change the course of medicine forever. The film stars Cuba Gooding Jr. as the young man from a broken home who grew up amongst poverty and prejudice. His mother never lost faith in him and encouraged Carson to follow his dreams. Don't miss this inspiring film of triumph on Saturday in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands. There will be two showings of this film, one at 2 and one again at 7 p.m. Looking ahead to Monday is an outing for lunch at the Crave restaurant in Fort Myers. Though small in size, Crave offers meal selections that are giant in flavor and freshness. Foods prepared to order and often made with organic ingredients make this trip one you'll, well, crave. Court pickups begin on the island Monday at 10:15 a.m. So, how would you like to go on a bird safari? Don't have time? Maybe it's just too hot these days. Well, there's no reason you still can't if you attend the Florida Bird Safari presentation hosted by resident Gerald Langberg of Sundial. On a recent photo safari, Gerald captured images of birds of South Florida that you can enjoy next week right here at Shell Point. Terry Colath has more.
Hello, I'm Terry Colath, and I'm here today with one of my favorite people, Dr. Gerald Langberg of Sundial. And he has taken us along with him on many safaris by bringing photographs back and sharing them with us. This time, in our Coffee with a Neighbor, we're going to have a safari that took place right here. Thanks for joining me, Dr. Langberg.
Always my pleasure. Always my pleasure. You know that.
Oh, and we're looking at a Florida bird safari. I know we've gone all over the world looking at your slides with you, but right here at home, how did this come about?
Well, this is kind of an interesting thing. I was in Namibia and Botswana and Zambia last fall, and with some of my safari buddies, and they were oohing and ahhing and saying, look at that bird, look at this, look how beautiful that is. And I said, guys, I hate to tell you, but I don't know if I want to keep spending this kind of money to travel over here. You know, in the springtime, when the migratory birds come into Southwest Florida, Ding Darling, Fort Myers, Florida, you know, the Corkscrew Sanctuary Swamp, the Audubon, east coast of Florida, you know, it's just tough to go anywhere in the world to beat what we have in our own backyard. I said, I think what we ought to do, and I'll set it up. You guys plan, you know, 6 months, 9 months from today, whatever, because the migration season really starts in about March. And come to Florida. I'll set you up at our facility over here in Shell Point. They have a beautiful guest house, which beats a safari tent, by the way. And beautiful water scenes everywhere. And I'm going to set up a safari just in South Florida. And I think it'll really whet your appetite to some of the things we have locally that you don't have to spend, you know, 23, 24 hours traveling by air and, you know, fighting all the things you have to fight when you go to the African continent.
Sure, sure. Don't even have to get any shots before you leave.
No, because the mosquitoes inoculate you here.
Now, tell us, how did they find the birds of Southwest Florida?
They're all photographer friends, and of course they came loaded for birds, so to speak. And we had more than we could say grace over. It was absolutely amazing. A lot of the birds had started to build their nests They were in their mating plumage, which is about when it starts, first couple weeks of March. And they were oohing and eyeing, and they are very well seasoned travelers. So I guess if the audience can relate to what I'm saying, you don't have to go far if you know where to look here. It's quite amazing.
And what I like about your lectures is that bird is stopped on the screen, and we can look at it, and you can tell us something about it.
Well, I've done that specifically in this lecture because in the comment sheets that come back, a lot of people care more of the content that are in the lectures than the presentation. And I always tried to put some music to fit with the flying. And actually, I've had some suggestions. A lot of people can't hear my voice over the background. So this time I'm going to do something different. I'm going to manually start and stop the signs, start and stop. I'm going to call them slides, but they're not, they're frames. And I'm going to narrate with no background noise, music, whatever, and tell you what each bird is and where it was taken, what's going on.
The thing I like about that is because we see these birds, you know, most of them, but we're really going to see them. And then the next time we see them, we're going to appreciate it even more.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because this particular time, I mean, this was a feast. This was a feast. I actually surprised myself how many birds and different birds. It was just the diversity in all the species we saw was quite amazing.
Well, we're delighted, and I encourage you to join us. As Dr. Langberg says, we're going to have a little bit of a different take on his usual lecture where he's going to do things in a slightly different way. So come on out, see the Florida Bird Safari, and have a cup of coffee with your neighbors.
And now it's time for all the latest happenings, Academy news, menus, and Village Church connections.
Hi everybody, and welcome to the weekend edition of the Happenings segment of Shell Point TV. I'm Bev Chandley, and this is Caitlin Van Scoy, and we're going to go over Friday, Saturday, and Sunday activities for you. We're going to start Friday morning out at 8:15 with the stamp ministry at the stamp room on the island. And our Friday marketplace will be in Administration Courtyard from 8:30 to 11:30. Don't forget to go support those vendors. At 9 o'clock we have Canasta and Samba, both card games at the Woodlands Commons second floor lobby. We have the Father's Pancake Breakfast at the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands at 9 o'clock. Also at 9 o'clock we have the men's round robin doubles tennis at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. The Susie Q heads to the Green Flash restaurant on Captiva at 9:30. The genealogy group will be in the Sable Room of the Woodlands at 10 o'clock. And we also have a 10 o'clock tennis game. This is men's match play doubles tennis at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. At 10:15, the dog club meeting will be at the Social Center. Also at 10:15, we have Inquiring Minds in the Manatee Room on the island. Our last 10:15 activity is the Model Yacht Sailing Club. They'll be at the Woodlands Commons Lake. We're going to jump to the afternoon now at 12:30, where Mixed Progressive Bridge will be in the game room of the Woodlands. And advanced table tennis will be in the Tarpon Room at 1:15. The Quilters will be in the Osprey Room at 1:15. Then we're going to move to 2 o'clock for Bid Euchre. They play that at the Sable Room at the Woodlands. At 2:15, we have water volleyball. That's at the LifeQuest Aquatic Center. And at 2:45, the resident quarterly meeting will be at the Village Church Auditorium. Pickleball will be at the pickleball courts at 4 o'clock. And our last Friday activity is the 6:45 game night at the Resident Activity Center. Now, Caitlin's going to go over the Saturday lineup, and here she is.
Well, thanks, Bev. At 8 a.m., we have pickleball being played at the pickleball courts. And also at 8 a.m., we have round-robin doubles tennis at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. It's a good way to start out your morning. 9:30 is the time for men's and women's doubles tennis at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. And duplicate bridge will be played at 9:45 in the Manatee Room. We move all the way to 1 o'clock for a chess game at the Library Lounge in the Resident Activity Center. And at 1:15, we have table tennis down in the Tarpon Room. 2 o'clock, we have Saturday DVD, Gifted Hands, the Ben Carson Story, a 2009 film. That'll be in the Grand Cypress Room. At 3:15, we have basic line dancing in the Health Club. 7 o'clock, we have the second showing of the Saturday DVD. That's in the Grand Cypress Room. At 7:30, we have the summer concert series, the Crossroads Quartet. That'll be in the Village Church, and you do need a ticket for that. Here's Bev to tell you all about our Sunday activities.
Thanks, Caitlin. At 9 o'clock, we have Christian Life Studies at the Game Room of the Woodlands and at the Village Church. At 10:15, our morning worship services at the Village Church. It's also broadcast live on ShellPoint TV, Channel 13. We're going to go all the way to 6:15 tonight, and where you'll find the Village Church busy with our evening service. Well, that concludes our weekend edition, and we will see you back here next week.
Hi, I'm Terry Colath telling you what's coming up in the Academy of Lifelong Learning next week. On Monday, we have Anatomy of Words, and it is offered every Monday, and you can start any Monday you'd like. On Tuesday, we have the Fourth Crusade, Venice versus Constantinople, with Professor Adrian Kerr. We also have that eye clinic for questions about your iPad or iPhone. On Wednesday, we have a Coffee with a Neighbor. This time it's a local safari, Florida Bird Safari, with Dr. Gerald Langberg of Sundial. And we also have a technology class, Behind the Scenes with Technology. This is going to feature our technical support services staff.
Menus for your weekend. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is pot roast with baked potatoes and asparagus. The soup of the day is lentil. In the Island Cafe for lunch, the special is barbecue pork on a roll with coleslaw for $7.75. The dinner special is Chef's Choice for $8.75. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill are New York Strip for $19.95 or Stuffed Sole for $17.95. On Saturday, the Crystal Room is closed. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Saturday, the special is a Turkey Club sandwich with chips for $7.75. The dinner special is chicken parmesan with roasted potatoes and green beans for $8.75. The dinner special in the Palm Grill on Saturday is prime rib for $19.95. On Sunday, the Crystal Room features its Sunday brunch for $17.50. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Sunday, the special is a grilled ham, turkey, and Swiss sandwich on rye with a side salad for $7.75. The dinner special is Chef's Choice for $8.75. And the Palm Grill is closed on Sundays. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Hi, I'm Randy Woods here at the Village Church and with Pastor Andy as we look forward to another weekend sharing together in our community. But as a church, joining together in worship to celebrate God's goodness and sing His praise and study His Word. And we look forward to gathering again this week. And I understand as the church and the community has grown, again, we have the opportunity to welcome some new members.
We do indeed, and obviously that's an important part of what it means to really connect with a local church. I think it's something that in this day and age people don't take as seriously perhaps as they used to, but they certainly need to, because it's important to land in a local congregation. We have a couple of levels of participation along those lines, because a lot of people who travel want to retain their connection with a congregation up north, and we certainly value that. That certainly is appropriate. And so we have an associate membership as well as a regular membership for people who are here full time. And we encourage that, and we'll have a good critical mass of folks that have gone through the process. They've taken a class and they've gone through an interview, and we regard them as fully functioning and participating members of the Village Church.
Yeah. Well, it's always good because we value the commitment of membership, and we are blessed with members and those who attend who give so faithfully of their time and talents.
That's right.
And to benefit the church. And as we share together as a church, we always enjoy the music of the congregation singing and the choirs they'll be sharing. And this week we continue in our study in the book of Hebrews with Moses.
That's correct.
Another dimension of that passage.
That's correct. And we're in the 11th chapter, which is the Hall of Faith, as a lot of people call it. And we've been looking through various dimensions of faith by looking at a number of the Old Testament patriarchs and other significant personalities in the Old Testament. And one of the people that gets a lot of ink is Moses, as you would expect. We have Moses and Abraham are the two figures that loom the largest, I think, in the Old Testament. And we've already looked a good bit at Abraham, but now we come to Moses. We actually started with Moses last week as we began to look at his role in establishing the Passover and how that related to the Savior, our Savior, the Lord Jesus, and in terms of his sacrifice on the cross, because Christ is called our Passover. So we did that on Communion Sunday. So now we back up a little in the text to try to pick up some other dimensions of it. And interestingly enough, in this message, I've entitled it, When Faith Rebels, because it really has to do with Moses' parents' faith, not so much his faith, because of how they protected Moses during a time in which male Hebrew babies were being put to death. And it's an extraordinary time historically, but also in terms of helping us understand the nature of how faith functions, especially when we're under the gun and under difficult circumstances.
Well, that will be the morning with its challenges, and we look at the evening as we continue on the series, Who is God, and sharing together the various attributes, the character of God.
Right.
So we continue that this Sunday night, and what aspect of that will you be dealing with this week?
Yeah, we're going to look at the goodness of God.
Goodness of God.
That's exactly right. So we're starting to develop a picture of what the Bible says about God by looking at so many of his attributes. Some of the things that we've called his incommunicable attributes are things that defines him in and of himself, and then his moral attributes are his communicable attributes, are those that he shares with us, and goodness is one of those. And of course, we started out learning about that. You know, we said a lot of people would say grace. God is great. God is good. And let's thank him for our food or something like that. We're going to look at the goodness of God, how we understand God to be a good God.
Well, speaking of goodness, we enjoy the many talented people in our community, and the men's quartet, known as By Grace Alone. The men's quartet will be singing Sunday night, and that is Jim Davey, Ken Nesselrode, Tim Stevenson, as well as David Nesselrode. And it's fun to work with the guys, and they will be doing a little mini concert, so to speak, with 5 or 6 songs as they sing together on Sunday night. So that will be another special blessing that we enjoy, part of the goodness of God.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah. It's going to be a wonderful day as we celebrate at the Village Church, and we invite you to join us Sunday morning at 10:15, Sunday night at 6:15. And if you're not able to be out Sunday morning, you can always tune in to ShellPoint TV, Channel 13, and see the live broadcast of the morning worship service. It's going to be a wonderful day. We look forward to seeing you. God bless you, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the Village Church as we worship together this weekend.
Now it's time to take a look back at the top stories from this week on ShellPoint Today. The ShellPoint Summer Concert Series is about to heat up as the first night of music takes place this Saturday at the Village Church. Residents Brad and Adrian Prokop stopped by to tell us more about the talent of the Crossroads Quartet that will be performing on stage.
Hello, I'm Brad Prokop.
And I'm Adrian Prokop.
We are here as enthusiastic supporters of the summer concerts at Shell Point. The first presentation is the Crossroads Quartet on Saturday, June 13th at 7:30 p.m.
Originally from 4 different states and performing with 4 different quartets, Crossroads came together in 2007 to make a new sound. 2 years later, they were crowned the Barbershop Harmony Society's International Champions.
These versatile award-winning vocalists sing a wide variety of musical styles. Their program includes standard from the Great American Songbook, vocal jazz, blues, gospel, and popular classics.
Crossroads Quartet is steeped in traditional barbershop harmony. Join us to enjoy one of the most sought-after a cappella quartets in the world.
The world champion foursome has performed in Germany, France, Finland, the United Kingdom, and Japan, as well as coast to coast in the United States.
Shell Point residents and members of the community are invited to enjoy the diverse options available during the summer series, with concerts in June, July, August, and September.
Crossroads Quartet and other individual concert tickets are $20 each. You can purchase the entire series of 4 concerts for $60, which represents a $20 savings.
We'll be at the Village Church on Saturday, June 13th at 7:30. to enjoy Crossroads Quartet, the first concert of the summer concert season.
See you there.
Earlier this week, we enjoyed some instruction from fitness instructor Melanie Brode and Heather Batty of Resort Services as they presented another Fit Tip.
Hi everybody, it's Melanie Brode and Heather Batty. In today's Fit Tip, we are going to work on balance. Ooh, ready? Yep. Today, as we walk towards you, you're going to focus on our feet. We're doing a heel-toe walk.
So as we age, balance is the first thing that starts to go. There are 3 things that affect that. That's your eyesight,
Your inner ears.
and the bottom of your feet.
What about medications?
Yes, as soon as you're on 3 types of medication, your balance is automatically compromised.
So doing this simple walk in your hallway where you can have support is a good way to practice balance. To add a little more difficulty, I like to swing it out, Heather. I like to swing that leg out to the side a little bit, add a little bit of hip abduction.
That certainly is more challenging.
How about a squat? Squat, stand, swing, and place. Good. Squat, swing. Good job.
It takes some coordination as well.
It does. Good.
Now, if even that is too difficult, you can practice just standing like a flamingo and get your balance. You can also rely on a partner if you can't get your balance.
Or the wall, your countertop, in the hallway. Good job.
That's today's Fit Tip.
Have a great day, everybody.
The Susie Q pontoon boat here at Shell Point takes frequent excursions over to one of the nearby waterfront restaurants. Every week affords the opportunity for residents to enjoy lunch off-site on one of these nautical adventures. During a recent trip to the nearby St. Charles Yacht Club, we decided to tag along to find out more about these trips from Captain Jim and to see residents enjoy this relaxing escape aboard the Susie Q. So it's a beautiful morning here on the canal behind the village church, and we're aboard the Susie Q this morning. Captain Jim Walker's here with me. They're getting ready to shove off pretty soon for a lunch run over to the St. Charles Yacht Club. So Captain Jim, tell me how the Susie Q is running these days.
Well, everything's been running very well, and we've had good weather other than a day or two for the past several months. And fortunately, we have a lot of new and exciting things that we're doing now. St. Charles Yacht Club is one of them, and it's a popular trip. It's a 3-hour run, and we've also maintained our Fort Myers Beach Matanzas Inn trip, but we've included 1 day a month going to Dock Ford's on the beach, and people enjoy that. So we're trying to do some new and exciting things to keep people interested. And fortunately, we've had a good response to our trips in general because we take the time to slow down and look for the dolphins and enjoy the wildlife.
Well, beautiful. Looks like you have a fabulous day today, and looks like the boat is in tremendous shape. Everything's looking very spick and span and ship shape. Well, clean. I guess the crew's been working hard to keep it that way.
Well, fortunately, we have a good volunteer crew, and our narrators do a wonderful job of pointing out all the things that we encounter of interest, and everyone chips in and helps maintain the boat, and we strive to provide a safe, fun experience for everyone, and we've been really blessed.
Welcome aboard, Denny. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
So Alice DeBon is one of the narrators here on the crew of the Susie Q. Alice, tell us about what it's like to be the narrator and guide all these folks.
Crazy.
But getting out on the water on a beautiful day like this has to be great.
This day is perfect. It's an absolutely gorgeous day. We're going to St. Charles Yacht Club for lunch, so we'll get out on the river, and my job as a narrator is to sort of talk about what we see on the river. If I'm lucky, there'll be dolphin. If I'm not lucky, I have to be creative.
So you know all the names of all the birds around here, I guess?
No, I don't know all the names of them.
Well,
but
at least the big ones,
yes,
right?
The big ones. The bigger they are, the more apt I am to know them. We have a narrator's notebook, which gives the narrators a lot of the basic information. We try to keep track of the up-and-coming events, anything to do with nature, the environment, read the newspapers and listen to the TV and that kind of thing so that we can talk about these things. And we invite a little bit of participation from the audience, but most people come. The history of the Susie Q is that it was to bring people out so that they could learn about the environment around the island. And we still try to maintain this and to give the people that kind of information when they come. So most people come for that, and they know that that's the basis of the Susie Q trips.
This is a great amenity here at Shell Point to have a Coast Guard approved vessel. It's big, it's sturdy, it's stable, very safe, and easy to get on, easy to get off. If you have some challenges that way, they can accommodate you, and you can really get out of nothing like getting out on the water on a day like today. Just nothing like it to get out there, see the wildlife, enjoy this beautiful creation around here, and it's a fantastic boat.
It's been a wonderful addition to Shell Point. One of the more rewarding experiences that we've had is to have the assisted living people able to enjoy this boating experience with us, and that has been a combined effort of everyone, the volunteers, the staffs at the assisted living facilities, and it's been a very rewarding experience to be able to be a part of the team and to have these assisted living trips, and we're very fortunate to be here at Shell Point.
Fantastic. Well, there you have it from Captain Jim. Folks, you live in Southwest Florida, some of the most beautiful waters. You really owe it to yourself to take advantage of where you live and get out and enjoy the water. And what better way than our own Susie Q? So come on out and take a ride, take one of these trips. You're really going to love it.
Three kinds of mangroves, but they're all actually different species.
This is our 5th time.
We have Captain Jim take us around showing us where to go, and then we get to go out for a lovely lunch.
We've been here for 14 months and 2 weeks.
It's outstanding.
It's outstanding, he said.
We've been on numerous trips, but this is a new trip for us today, and we're looking forward to seeing what we see. The boats go into St. Charles Harbor, but we've never seen the actual harbor.
We're glad about that. Going for lunch.
This is an absolutely perfect way to spend the morning and most of the day. And just come down and join us when you have the opportunity.
One way to cool off during the warm days of summer is to stop by the Promenade Cafe at the Woodlands. Manager Nancy Reed offers 4 flavors of gelato, as well as other delights.
Hi, I'm Nancy, and I'm standing outside my Promenade Cafe in my new outdoor dining area. I'd like to invite you to come down sometime for a bite to eat and a beautiful view. This time of year is spectacular for dining outside. But if you want to see something spectacular, you got to come inside and see what I've got that's new in my cafe. Come with me. And what I have now is gelato. I currently carry 4 flavors every day, and I'd be happy to show them to you. It's been super popular. It's the newest buzz at Shell Point. I'm especially fond of gelato coming from an Italian family. And let me explain to you the difference between ice cream and gelato. Ice cream is higher in butterfat and sugar. Gelato has far less air pumped through it, which makes for a more dense product, which means a creamier product. And I have 4 flavors every day. The kind of flavors that you might expect daily. I have a blood orange sorbetto, another flavor called biscotti. I have chocolate chip, and I have a tiramisu today. But I do change these up regularly. And here's an example of the sorbetto. In addition to gelato, I also offer some new breakfast items, and I have a very large lunch menu, including homemade paninis that I offer every day. Another additional popular item down here at my cafe is Mile High Pies. They are so popular. I do homemade dessert bars, I make cinnamon rolls in the morning, and I've always got a smile. I'm ready. So come on into the Promenade Cafe. I'm open Monday through Friday, 11 to 2. Come on down and see me.
Many retailers have been affected by hackers who breached their store's security system, stealing their customers' data, such as their debit and credit card numbers. Anna Smith of Finemark Bank gave us some advice on how to steer clear of becoming a victim of credit and debit card information theft in this Finemark Minute.
Hello, I'm Anna Smith, Managing Executive at Finemark National Bank and Trust on the island. In today's Finemark Minute, we are talking about credit and debit card security breaches happening at major retail stores across the country. Many retailers have been affected by hackers who breach a store's security system and steal a customer's data, including card numbers, zip codes, and expiration dates. Retailers hit include Target, Home Depot, Neiman Marcus, Sally Beauty, P.F. Chang's, and the thrift store operations of Goodwill. If you are choosing between using a credit card and a debit card, we advise using a credit card. If a retailer is breached or your identity is stolen, you don't have to make an immediate payment to the credit card. You can contest it. When you use a debit card, the money comes directly and immediately from your checking account. So then you have to work to get your money back. If you still choose to use debit, alerts are available at many banks. At Finemark, a convenient email or text message alerts you when a purchase has been made with your debit card. So if you notice transactions you did not make, you contact us immediately and we will take appropriate action. The service is free for all Finemark debit card holders, and the alerts are customizable. You can receive them for a variety of things, including funds added and removed, signature transactions, and high-risk transactions like pay at the pump or out-of-state transactions. If you bank at Finemark, we would be happy to set up those alerts for interested clients. If you would like to set up alerts, or if you have a question, stop by our office on the island or give us a call at 239-461-5999. With today's Finemark Minute, I'm Anna Smith.
And finally this week, we took a visit to Periwinkle to see Ruth Duber whip up a great recipe of shrimp linguine in this episode of What's Cooking.
Hi, I'm Ruth Duber, and this is What's Cooking at Shell Point. And this is a dish that's a little bit lighter for our hot weather here. It's shrimp linguine, and it has lots and lots of fresh spinach in it. So it does call for wine, but as I've said before, you can substitute chicken broth anytime for that. I do have the water boiling over here for the linguine, but we're going to take all these ingredients over here to the stove. So hope I make it without spilling anything. There. I'm going to use whole wheat linguine, and I noticed in this box that I got, on the back of it, it has a little diagram, and it says for how much. So you hold it up and put it right there, right where 2 servings is. I thought that was pretty neat. So the water's boiling, so I am going to put it in to get that started. And it does take a little bit longer. I think I should have used a larger pot, but that's okay. It'll get in there eventually. And we're going to do a timer. And I think we're going to set it for 12 minutes. While Warren was still with me, I started using the whole wheat pasta, and he didn't know the difference. So I thought, well, that's pretty good. That shows that you can still be healthy with it. So we'll let that go for now, and we'll pay attention to our skillet here. And I'm going to turn it on, and we're going to start with some butter. And this doesn't have to be exact either, but I don't think that has to be exact, so we're going to put that in. And we're going to measure out our wine. And it's 1/4 cup, which is about 2 ounces. As I say, it doesn't have to be exact. So what we're going to basically do is start making our sauce. And we're going to get that melted. And we're going to add some garlic. And again, I did the lazy way. It calls for 2 cloves chopped, which is about, I think it's equivalent to a 1/2 tablespoon. Oh, let's put a little more. You can't have too much garlic. So that's that. So we'll put that in there. And we're going to get that to start to cook a little bit. Well, we're starting to get the fragrance now of the garlic. Now we're going to put in the wine. We're going to bring that to a boil. And we'll let that cook down a little bit. And while we're waiting for that, we'll add 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And here goes the pepper that I don't measure. Okay. Now I'm going to add the shrimp. And you'll want to turn the heat down a little bit. We don't want it to overcook. Now you don't want to use the already cooked shrimp because this is the secret to getting the flavor going all the way through. There, as you see, they're starting to turn pink. In another minute or so, I'll turn them over. There, they're looking beautiful. Now we're going to add some more butter, and as I say, this is sort of up to you. I think this helps to make the sauce. And now we're going to start to put a little cheese with it. Here's just regular Parmesan. I think we need a little more of the cheese. I say this one is not exact recipes either, so. And our linguine will be done in another 3 minutes. Okay, now while we're waiting for that, I'm going to take this off the heat. Okay, while the linguine is finishing cooking, I'll put this back on the burner for just a moment. And we're going to start adding some spinach. This is triple washed, it says. So we don't have to worry about that. And of course this cooks very quickly. Because you don't want to overcook it. You want just enough to wilt it. There's the timer. Take that off of there, and I'm going to dish up some of the linguine. Now, I have a little trick that one of my neighbors told me about. I had a whole bunch of parsley, and so I chopped some up and put it in the freezer in these little packets. And so now I have some parsley to put on the top. You can see that the spinach is just wilted, so it'll still have a little crunch to it. So we'll take up a serving of it here. And let's put on a little more Parmesan. And there it is. So I'm going to get a fork and try it. This will be mighty hot, but I'll try it. Well, it's hard to get the pasta up. So I'm just going to taste it this way. That is perfect. Just enough of the little bit of the wine taste, although it could be chicken broth, and lots of garlic, and the spinach is just perfect. I'm going to take that bite too. I'll put this up on the website. I hope you'll try it. And thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Well, that's going to bring this program to a close. This has been Shell Point Today for the weekend of June 11th, 12th, and 13th. Please be sure to join us again next week, as we'll have more stories and important information from right here at Shell Point. Until then, I'm Dan Filgreen, and from all of us here at SBTV, we hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday.